Have you ever wondered, am I truly awake, or did I simply open my eyes and step into another day with the same worries, the same habits, and the same restless cycle of yesterday? There are, in truth, two ways to begin the morning. One is to let the body wake up while the mind remains caught in distraction and autopilot. The other is to rise with mindfulness, to breathe with awareness, to take the very first steps of the day as a quiet rhythm of peace. This difference determines how we will live, rushed or calm, tense or at ease, drained or filled with vitality. Wake up to mindfulness. Daily Buddhist wisdom is a gentle invitation, yet also a wake-up call. It reminds us that every morning is a chance to be reborn, an opportunity to begin again with a fresh heart, to release the weight of yesterday and to plant seeds for a day lived more fully. Mindfulness is not a distant philosophy. It is the simple art of returning to ourselves, living authentically in the present moment, listening deeply to our inner world and seeing life with greater clarity. Here on Buddha's Wisdom Journey, we share not only the timeless teachings of the Buddha, but also reflections on how they can be lived in our modern lives. You will discover quiet insights, gentle practices, and ways to infuse mindfulness into your mornings so that each day does not begin with old routines, but with a new awareness. You don't have to be a monk or leave behind your ordinary life. Anyone can practice mindfulness in the smallest acts. A single mindful breath, a cup of tea sipped with awareness, or a smile given to oneself in the mirror. Each day, Buddhist wisdom acts as a lamp, shining light on the illusions of the restless ego, the endless grasping, the fears, the comparisons, and guiding us toward a more open heart filled with compassion. When we truly awaken, we see things as they are, without distortion, without the burden of judgment. From that clarity, a profound inner freedom begins to grow. Wake up to mindfulness is more than advice. It is a practice, a way to step into each day with a spacious heart, a clear mind, and steady footsteps. It is an invitation to return home to yourself, to the place of peace that has always been there, waiting quietly beneath the noise. With Buddha's Wisdom Journey, each morning becomes a spiritual path. The first moments of the day no longer need to be filled with screens, news, or rushing thoughts, but instead with silence, gratitude, and wisdom. Because when we wake up with mindfulness, the whole day becomes a miracle. Every morning, as soon as we open our eyes, most of us are immediately pulled into the rush of life. The mind begins to calculate, to worry about the tasks ahead, the pressure waiting for us, the responsibilities we cannot escape. We often forget that the very first moments of the day are the foundation for everything that follows. If the beginning is rushed, the whole day easily slips into stress and restlessness. Yet the Buddha offered us another path, a path of awakening to each breath, each step, each moment. So let me ask you, what would happen if you started your day not with hurry, but with mindfulness and presence? When you rise in stillness, feel the cool morning air, listen to the birds singing, or simply place your hand on your heart to sense its rhythm. You are giving yourself a priceless gift. It's not just a few seconds of peace. It's planting the seed for an entire day lived with clarity and depth. One mindful breath can shift your entire state of being. It is like a small candle that dispels the darkness of worry. As you slowly inhale, knowing you are breathing in, and exhale, knowing you are breathing out, your mind no longer drifts into 1,000 scattered thoughts. It returns to the present, the only place where life truly happens. The morning does not have to be a race. It can be a sacred ritual. Just a few minutes of quiet sitting, drinking your tea in silence, or walking gently on the earth can turn the start of your day into nourishment rather than depletion. The Buddha taught that when the mind is at peace, the world is at peace. When your inner ground is steady, you can smile even in the midst of life's storms. Imagine this. If every morning you began with mindfulness, you would carry that energy into your work, into your relationships, into every word and every action. You would no longer be caught in endless comparisons, competition, or the need to prove yourself. Instead, you would be fully present, listening with your whole heart, responding to life with gentleness and wisdom. Life is short. Each day is a new opportunity to practice, to brighten your mind. Don't wait for a perfect time to live more consciously. Every ordinary morning is already a doorway to awakening. When we learn to wake up with mindfulness, our entire life gradually becomes a meditation in motion. So tomorrow morning, instead of grabbing your phone or rushing into tasks, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Smile to yourself. Look out the window and feel gratitude that you are still here, alive. That alone is the beginning of a true day. A day where peace within becomes harmony without. And so the question remains, how will you begin your morning? Caught in hurry, or rooted in mindfulness and peace? When we speak of mindfulness in the Buddhist spirit, many people think of it as just a breathing technique or a mental exercise. But mindfulness is not merely a method. It is a way of living, an attitude of being awake and present in every moment of daily life. It is the capacity to clearly recognize what is happening, both within ourselves and around us, without being swept away by habit or unconscious reactions. In modern society, it's easy to drift through life as if we're half asleep. The body is here, but the mind wanders, pulled into worries about the future or tangled in memories of the past. Without mindfulness, we live like someone lost in a dream, unaware that we are dreaming. Our words, our choices, our actions are often dictated by conditioning and illusions. And that is why we feel anxious, restless, and disconnected from true freedom. Mindfulness is what helps us wake up from that dream. It is the light that allows us to see reality as it is, instead of through the filters of fear or expectation. When mindfulness is present, we touch life directly, without layers of distortion. Think about how most people begin their mornings. The moment they wake up, they reach for the phone. Within minutes, the flood of emails, notifications, and headlines pulls them into a current of stress. Even before the day has properly begun, the mind is already heavy and restless. Now compare that with someone who practices mindfulness. Instead of rushing toward the phone, they pause. They take just 3 deep breaths. At first glance, 3 breaths seem almost too simple. Yet these 3 breaths hold the power to bring the mind back home to the present. Breathing in, they know they are breathing in. Breathing out, they know they are breathing out. And in that moment, they are fully alive, not caught in worries that haven't come, not bound by the past that is already gone. Mindfulness is not something separate from life. It is a way of living life itself. You can practice while washing your face, sipping tea, or stepping outside the door. Whenever you are truly present with what you're doing, that is mindfulness. It doesn't require rituals or complexity. Presence itself is the practice. The beauty of mindfulness is that when it becomes a habit, it changes how we see the world. A flower is no longer just decoration. It is a miracle of life. A breath is no longer just oxygen. It is nourishment for body and mind. A step is no longer just movement. It is an imprint of presence. Suddenly, what once felt ordinary becomes rich, vivid, and filled with peace. Mindfulness also frees us from invisible chains. Instead of reacting blindly to difficulties, we pause and observe. Instead of drowning in anger, we notice it as a passing cloud. Instead of clinging to sadness, we see it as a temporary state that comes and goes. By seeing clearly, we are no longer prisoners of our emotions. We become the ones who guide them. The Buddha taught, mindfulness is the path to liberation. Because when the mind is clear, we are no longer ruled by ignorance or unconscious habits. Every moment of awareness is a step toward freedom. And true freedom is not found in controlling the outer world. It is in mastering our own mind, no matter the circumstance. So tomorrow morning, try something simple. Don't reach for your phone right away. Sit up gently, place your hand on your heart, and take 3 slow, mindful breaths. Just 3. Yet in those 3 breaths, you reclaim your life. Because in them, you are not chasing anything. You are simply here, alive, and fully present. Morning carries a very special kind of energy. It is the meeting point between night and day, between stillness and movement. The way we begin our morning shapes the rhythm of everything that follows. If we start with rush and distraction, the mind is easily pulled into stress. But if we start with awareness and presence, we can carry peace and clarity throughout the day. The Buddha once taught, a mind directed rightly in the morning will open the door to a day of peace. This gentle reminder shows us that if we ground our heart at the start of the day, then whatever comes, joys or challenges, we can meet them with steadiness and wisdom. There are 3 simple yet profound steps we can practice each morning. Step 1. Breathe mindfully. As soon as you wake up, instead of rushing into thoughts or reaching for your phone, pause for a moment. Breathe slowly and gently. As you inhale, recognize, I am alive. I am breathing. As you exhale, feel a sense of release and calm. Just 1 mindful breath is enough to bring you back to the present moment, reminding you that life itself is already a precious gift. Step 2. Cultivate gratitude. Open your window or simply listen to your surroundings. Maybe it's the soft glow of morning light, the song of a bird, or the quiet hush of dawn. Each sound, each sight, each breath is a reminder that you are here, alive in this very moment. When gratitude arises, the heart naturally softens. Instead of beginning the day with worry, you begin it with a smile. Gratitude turns the ordinary world into a miracle. Step 3. Set your intention. Before diving into the flow of the day, silently set an intention. Today, I will live with compassion. I will avoid causing harm. I will keep my heart open to others. This intention is like a lantern guiding your steps. Throughout the day, when challenges appear, you can return to this inner vow. When you meet others, you can remember that you have chosen to live with kindness and openness. Though these 3 steps seem simple, they hold the power to transform the whole day. A mindful breath steadies the mind. Gratitude opens the heart. A compassionate intention gives direction. Together, they create a morning filled with clarity and a day infused with meaning. With steady practice, you will notice a quiet transformation. Before, mornings might have been filled with stress, unconscious habits, or restlessness. But when you pause to breathe, to give thanks, and to set your intention, you begin the day with peace and strength. Each morning becomes not just a continuation of time, but a sacred ritual, a way of reconnecting with yourself and with life. And when you step out into the world, you are not just going to work or doing your daily tasks. You are carrying with you an energy of calm and compassion. Others can feel it. Your presence itself becomes a gift. Peace within you naturally ripples outward, touching everyone you meet. Remember, it doesn't take something grand to change your life. Just 3 simple steps each morning. Breathe, give thanks, set your intention, can open the doorway to a day of peace and meaning. And as the Buddha taught, when the mind is set on the right course from the very beginning, the whole day becomes a stream of wisdom and joy. Every morning, the world offers us a choice, though most of us forget that it exists. We wake up, and almost instantly our minds begin to race. Thoughts about unfinished tasks, responsibilities, worries, or even resentments from yesterday start to fill the space of our hearts. Without noticing, we slip into the familiar current of habit and stress. But the teachings of the Buddha remind us, each day is not merely a continuation of the old, but a brand new beginning. And within that beginning lies a choice. What kind of heart will we carry into the day? There is a story told in the Buddhist tradition. A young disciple once came to his teacher, weighed down by emotions he could not control. The master looked at him gently and asked, "Tell me, my child, what do you wish to carry in your heart today? Anger or compassion?" The disciple hesitated. He lowered his eyes and whispered, "Master, I do not know. My heart feels restless and confused." The teacher smiled kindly and after a pause said, "Then begin with a breath. Just one. Because in that single breath, you will remember that the choice is always yours." This simple exchange carries a profound truth. Every morning, we are presented with the same question the Master asked. What do you want to carry in your heart today? And like the disciple, we may not always have a clear answer. Our minds may be clouded with uncertainty or weighed down with emotions. But with a single mindful breath, we awaken to the realization that we are not powerless. We are free to choose. Imagine for a moment that you start your day not by rushing, not by reaching for your phone, but by pausing. You sit at the edge of your bed, close your eyes, and take one slow, deep breath. With that breath, you feel the gift of life flowing through you. And as you exhale, you release yesterday's burdens. In that small act, you declare silently, "Today, I choose peace. Today, I choose compassion." When you carry this awareness, your day unfolds differently. Instead of reacting with irritation when someone tests your patience, you may find yourself responding with gentleness. Instead of being consumed by worry, you may notice the beauty of sunlight streaming through your window or the sound of a bird singing nearby. Each moment becomes infused with clarity and calm because your heart has been anchored in mindfulness from the very beginning. This is the heart of Buddhist practice, not just sitting in meditation for long hours, but learning to begin again in every moment. And each morning is the most precious opportunity of all. When we wake, we are not simply rising from sleep. We are stepping into a new chance to live with wisdom and love. So ask yourself, when you open your eyes tomorrow, what will you carry in your heart? Will it be anger, worry, resentment? Or will it be compassion, gratitude, and peace? The choice may seem small, but it is the choice that shapes your entire day. And if you are unsure, remember the words of the Master. Begin with a breath. One breath to return to the present. One breath to remember that you are alive. One breath to choose peace over chaos, compassion over anger, clarity over confusion. The disciple in the story learned that mindfulness is not about controlling every thought or emotion, but about remembering his freedom to choose. And so do we. Each day is a doorway, and our breath is the key. My friend, tomorrow morning when you wake, pause for just a moment. Take a breath, feel your heart, and choose. For in that simple act, you begin your day not with heaviness, but with light. And that light will guide you through whatever comes. So many of us wake up and immediately feel the pull of the day, the messages waiting on our phones, the tasks left unfinished, the weight of responsibility pressing in before our feet even touch the floor. In those moments, it's easy to forget that the morning is sacred. It's the very first opening of the heart to life once more. And what we do in those first few minutes can ripple across the entire day. You don't need hours of meditation or complex rituals. The truth is, peace doesn't demand much from you, only sincerity and presence. Just 5 minutes, offered wholeheartedly, can shift the way you carry yourself through everything that follows. Let me share with you a simple 5-minute morning practice rooted in mindfulness and compassion. Step 1. Sit quietly and take 3 slow breaths. Find a comfortable seat, whether on your bed, a chair, or even the floor. Close your eyes gently. Inhale slowly, feeling the cool air enter your body. Exhale softly, letting go of the heaviness of yesterday. Repeat this 3 times. Not rushed, not forced, just steady, quiet breaths. With each exhale, imagine the clutter of your mind dissolving. In these few breaths, you are already returning to yourself. Step 2. Place your hand on your heart and feel your own heartbeat. This is not something we often do, but it is profoundly grounding. Rest your palm gently on your chest. Notice the subtle rhythm beneath your hand. That heartbeat is life itself, steady, faithful, carrying you through every moment without demanding your attention. As you feel it, recognize, I am alive. This moment is a gift. Let that awareness soften you. Step 3. Smile gently and whisper to yourself, today, I will be mindful and kind. It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just a tender affirmation whispered inward, planting a seed in your heart. These words are like water nourishing a garden within you. Mindfulness and kindness, so simple, yet so powerful. Each time you remind yourself, you guide your heart toward patience, toward compassion, toward balance. Step 4. Visualize light in your heart expanding outward. Close your eyes again and imagine a gentle light glowing from within your chest. At first it is small, like a candle, but with each breath it grows, filling your body with warmth, radiating beyond you, spreading into your room, your home, your community, and eventually embracing the entire world. This light is not just imagination. It is the natural compassion that lives in you, waiting to be awakened. By seeing it expand, you set the intention to let your actions today reflect that light. This entire practice takes only 5 minutes. Just 3 breaths, a hand on the heart, a whispered intention, and a moment of visualization. That's all. Yet within those 5 minutes, something shifts. Instead of beginning your day on autopilot, you begin with presence. Instead of letting the world's noise dictate your mood, you set the tone yourself, with clarity, with compassion, with peace. The beauty of this practice is that it asks for very little. You don't need silence around you. You don't need special skills. You don't need to be good at meditation. All you need is sincerity and a willingness to begin again each morning. Even if your mind wanders, even if you don't feel much at first, keep showing up. The steady rhythm of practice is what nourishes the heart. Over time, you will notice subtle changes. The day feels less heavy. Small annoyances don't shake you as easily. Compassion arises more naturally, like sunlight breaking through the clouds. And when difficulties come, as they always do, you will find a deeper well of calm within you to meet them. Remember, the morning sets the tone for the entire day. If you can gift yourself these 5 minutes of stillness, your heart will carry that peace into every interaction, every challenge, every breath that follows. So tomorrow morning, before you rush into the noise of the world, pause. Sit quietly. Breathe 3 times. Place your hand on your heart. Smile. Whisper gently. Today, I will be mindful and kind. Then imagine your inner light touching the world. 5 minutes. That is all it takes. Not long, not complicated. Just steady, sincere, and true. And slowly, you will discover that this small practice has the power to change not just your mornings, but your whole life. Common challenges on the path of daily practice. One of the most familiar struggles people face is not a lack of wisdom or the absence of tools. It is something far simpler. Forgetting. Forgetting to pause. Forgetting to breathe. Forgetting to return to ourselves. Some mornings we wake up with the best of intentions, yet the pull of life quickly takes over. Work emails, family needs, endless tasks waiting to be completed. It all rushes in before we even have a chance to remember what matters most. And then there are days when laziness sneaks in, whispering, "Just skip it today. You're too tired. It won't matter if you miss one time." Before we know it, one day turns into several, and the practice we once promised ourselves slowly fades into the background. These moments of forgetfulness or resistance are not signs of weakness. They are part of the human experience. The mind is restless by nature. It clings to habits, distractions, and constant movement. But mindfulness is the gentle reminder that we do not need to be perfect. We only need to return. Simple and gentle solutions. One of the most effective ways to support your practice is to create subtle reminders in your daily life. These reminders don't have to be dramatic. In fact, the simpler, the better. Place a small note on your bathroom mirror that simply says, "Breathe." Each morning as you brush your teeth or wash your face, let that word invite you back to the present moment. Set a gentle notification on your phone that appears once in the morning. Come back to yourself. Instead of scrolling through endless messages, let that reminder be the very first thing you see. Choose a short phrase or verse that resonates with you. Something like, "Today, I begin again." Repeat it quietly whenever you notice yourself drifting away. These small cues act like anchors, helping you return to the shore of mindfulness when the waves of distraction try to carry you off course. The heart of the teaching. There is one truth worth remembering. Mindfulness is not about being perfect. Mindfulness is about returning. You will forget. You will drift. You will miss days. But the essence of practice is not measured by flawless consistency. It is measured by the courage to begin again and again, without judgment. Each time you notice yourself lost in busyness and gently return to your breath, you are practicing. Each time you remember to place your hand on your heart, even for a moment, you are practicing. Each time you choose to pause instead of react, you are practicing. This is the miracle. Mindfulness is always waiting for you. No matter how far you wander, you are never too far gone to return. Over time, these small acts of remembrance begin to change the way you move through life. You start to notice the space between your thoughts. You begin to carry more patience into your conversations. The weight of responsibility doesn't vanish, but it feels lighter, because you are no longer crushed beneath it. Mindfulness brings you back to what is real, this breath, this step, this moment. And from that stillness, compassion naturally grows. You find yourself softer with others, more forgiving of yourself, and more resilient when challenges arise. So the next time you feel lazy, or you forget, or life pulls you away, don't be discouraged. Instead, smile gently and remember, mindfulness is not about being perfect. It is about returning whenever we get lost. That return is already enough. Every morning, life quietly offers us a choice, though most of us barely notice it. We can rush headfirst into the storm of unconscious habits, carried away by distractions, worries, and endless to-do lists. Or we can choose differently. We can step gently onto the path of awareness, where even the smallest breath becomes a doorway to freedom. Mindfulness, in the Buddhist spirit, is not about escaping life or running away from responsibilities. It is about being fully present with what is here. The Buddha often reminded his disciples that each day is like a new birth. The moment you open your eyes in the morning, you are given a chance to begin again, not bound by yesterday's mistakes, not trapped by tomorrow's fears. This is the invitation of mindfulness, to live today as if it were your first, and as if it could also be your last. Imagine waking up tomorrow and, instead of instantly reaching for your phone or letting anxious thoughts flood in, you pause. You take just 3 slow breaths. With each inhale, you feel the gift of life entering you. With each exhale, you let go of the heaviness you carried from yesterday. In those 3 breaths, you are no longer a prisoner of unconscious momentum. You are awake. You are free. The beauty of mindfulness is that it doesn't demand hours of effort or complicated rituals. It asks only for sincerity. The act of stopping, of noticing, of breathing. It's simple, yet it changes everything. Suddenly, the sunlight falling across your window is no longer something ordinary. It is a miracle. The sound of a bird outside is no longer background noise. It is music. The presence of your own heartbeat reminds you are alive, and that alone is enough reason to be grateful. The Buddha taught, with our thoughts, we shape the world. When your first thought in the morning is anchored in awareness, compassion, or gratitude, it sets the tone for the entire day. It is like planting a seed of peace in the soil of your heart. As the hours unfold, that seed grows into how you speak, how you act, and how you treat others. A single mindful breath can ripple outward, touching not only your own life but also the lives of everyone you encounter. So tomorrow, I invite you to experiment. Before the rush of the world pulls you in, sit with yourself for just a few moments. Take 3 mindful breaths. Feel the air moving in and out, grounding you in the present. Whisper silently, "Today, I choose to live with awareness." Then carry that gentle intention with you into whatever the day brings. Over time, this small practice becomes more than a morning ritual. It becomes a way of life. Each sunrise becomes not just the start of another day, but a rebirth. A reminder that you always have the freedom to choose peace over chaos, awareness over distraction, compassion over fear. So the question is, tomorrow morning, when the world calls you to hurry, will you let yourself be swept away? Or will you pause, breathe, and walk the path of mindfulness? The choice is always yours, and every morning is a chance to begin again. When we listen to a reflection, what we receive is often more than just a few words or passing ideas. Sometimes, hidden within those words is a reminder a gentle doorway opening to a new path for the heart. Perhaps you've also had mornings when your body woke up, but your mind still felt heavy, pulled backward by the past, or pushed forward into worries about the future. In those moments, we often forget that a single mindful breath can change the quality of the entire day. If you find these reflections meaningful, I invite you to like and subscribe. It's not just a small gesture on a screen, it's the planting of a seed. Each time you choose to walk alongside these Buddhist teachings, you are giving yourself the chance to return to stillness and to the compassion already living in your heart. One day, these seeds will sprout into a steady peace, unshaken by life's storms. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how was your morning today? Did you wake up rushing, moving so quickly that you didn't notice the sky outside your window, the sound of birdsong, or the quiet miracle of your lungs breathing? Did your mind immediately fill with endless to-do lists, or with leftover worries from yesterday? Or did you begin your day with a moment of mindfulness? If you've tried it before, you may already know the difference. Just 3 conscious breaths are enough to calm the ripples of the mind, guiding you back into the present, the only place where life is truly happening. From there, your entire day can flow with clarity and ease instead of anxiety and stress. If you've never tried, let tomorrow be your first step. You don't need to change every habit at once. Simply begin with 3 deep breaths. As you breathe in, notice that you are breathing in. As you breathe out, notice that you are breathing out. Simple, gentle, yet deeply transformative. From that simplicity, a new energy arises, the energy of presence. With steady practice, you'll discover that each morning is not merely a continuation of yesterday, but truly a chance to be reborn. You are no longer tied to old failures, nor paralyzed by fears of what hasn't come. You live fully with today, fresh, alive, filled with possibility. I'd love to hear from you. Share your own experience in the comments. Have you ever started your morning with mindfulness? What did you feel when you let go of rushing and allowed the breath to guide you? Sometimes your simple story can inspire someone else to begin their own practice, lighting the way for them toward peace. Every comment, every moment of presence you bring here is not just virtual interaction, it's a true spiritual connection. Together we are building a space where people can return to inner peace, reminding one another of the stillness within. So, if these reflections touch your heart, please like to help spread this energy and subscribe to walk this journey of awakening together. This path is never lonely. It is filled with support, compassion, and shared light. And tomorrow, when the sunrise greets you, remember, you always have a choice in how to begin. Perhaps, with just a single mindful breath, you will see the whole world transform.